Hey guys, Jesse here.
With Trevor.
And we're bringing you a battle report. So in this battle report, we have some scrub named, I think his name is Trevor, playing Flying Demons.
Yeah, I hear he's pretty bad at this game.
Yeah, I hear so too. You're playing actually Flying Demons, right?
Yes. Not my usual army. Definitely used to playing Screamer Star, but wanted to give it a try.
So what was the thought process with the army?
I just wanted to try a more mobile army. I'm loving playing Be'lakor, Fate Weaver, Psychic Shriek has been great. So you get a lot more of the good stuff. Fly the monsters into a ruin, cast Shrouding off Be'lakor because he always has it. Everybody has a 2-up cover save. Seems pretty durable with 6s to hit. Seems pretty mobile. Seemed like a good idea.
And you're playing against John. Now John is playing Necrons. Mm-hmm. He's playing 4 flyers, 2 Catacomb Command Barges, two swarms, 2 Scarab swarms.
Yeah.
One of which is a big swarm, one of which is a small swarm, and 6 Tomb Spiders. So you could kind of pump up his swarms at win. So we see it's a Hammer and Anvil deployment. So I noticed you deploy, it looks like Fate Weaver kind of out in the open. Oh, that's actually
a Keeper of Secrets. We had a model issue at the last minute.
So you were standing in for the Keeper of Secrets. So why is the Keeper of Secrets out in the open like that?
So we're playing the Relic in this mission. You can see it in the center ruin there. That I guess it's the green marker. The idea here is the Keeper of Secrets is, of course, awesome in combat. My thought process is run the Keeper up, keep it right next to that ruin. Anything that goes up to try and move on the Relic, the Keeper's there. Take care of things.
So the Keeper is actually really good against the Scarabs because he's base strength 6, right?
Yeah. So
and with like a bajillion attacks at like a weapon skill bajillion.
Yeah, weapon skill infinite. So it made sense for me. I deployed him pretty much right up on the line. Gets to move up, run into.
You don't really have any shooting that you have to worry about coming from this. I mean, what's starting on the table shooting wise is only going to be 2 Catacomb Command Barges.
Yeah, it's nothing I'm worried about.
I don't understand why John is like checkering out and then recheckering and then checkering again his Scarabs. Do you have blast templates?
No, I don't.
Well, you have Fate Weaver.
Yeah, Fate Weaver has Flame Breath out of Pyro and Small Blast, I believe it is, out of Tzeentch. So, I mean, there's always that he has to worry about, but I frankly don't think he is.
I actually forgot. John allied in Eldar.
Yep.
So John found out that a Farseer with Spirit Mantle, or not Spirit Mantle, but Spirit Stone,
yeah,
and Mantle the Laughing God is actually a pretty good character, because you can run around and, summon things, except when your opponent has like 26 dice.
Yeah. So John's plan with the Eldar is he has 1 Farseer on a bike. He has the Wraith Knight, as you can see in the back, and I believe it was 1 jet bike unit. It might have been 2.
No, I think it's 1.
Okay. And so his idea here is that he gets to get summoning for free, because that's the Primaris, so he always has that. Summon pink horrors out of it, and then start building up warp dice, summoning in more units. Problem with that is, clearly against demons, I have a lot of psychic dice. That's never going to happen.
You have a lot more. So I see you basically fly up to the middle there.
Yep.
You're making it a scrum over the Relic. So I understand the initial thoughts here. You have to stop John from getting onto the Relic with the Scarabs and holding the Relic with the Scarabs. So your game plan now. What is your option? What is your deal?
This was great. Started my shooting phase. The Warp Storm went off. Got a 11. Psyker had to make a leadership check, and top of turn 1, that Farseer died, turned into a Herald.
So what is your game plan for dealing with the Catacomb Command Barges?
Actually, I made a pretty big rookie mistake in the very beginning of this. I tried to Psychic Shriek a Catacomb Command Barge, which turns out that you can put that on the vehicle, and it does nothing. So it was kind of a blunder on my part, just something I hadn't come across yet for whatever reason. But in general, Be'lakor is a monster. At this point, he can just land if he wants to. He can do whatever he wants. Be'lakor can take out a knight fairly reasonable. I can take out a command barge.
Really? You can take out a knight fairly reasonable? How'd that work out for you in our game?
Okay. I got 5 pens, didn't roll a 6, and just put 5 whole points on it.
Poor Trevor. Then I'm pretty sure you got 6 out of the game.
Yeah.
But all right, so
So-
John's doing the smart thing. He's moving up. He has his catacomb command barges in a position. Now you have those flying monstrous creatures, so let's keep an inch away from you. But there is a keeper of secrets in the middle of the table, which he theoretically he could make a fairly long charge with to get in there. He also has the scarabs. It's basically clean up the free herald.
Yeah.
The last thing
it's
you need is more
straightforward.
dice.
Yeah.
So he had a unit of scarabs sitting back there because there is a Maelstrom objective back there.
Yep.
We're playing a BAO mission, and it really doesn't hurt him to do it. He also had to kill a unit this
Yeah,
turn.
he has a unit back there, the small scarab unit, just to hold that objective for Maelstrom points anyway. That the Farseer was back there, so it's just a nice, easy cleanup.
Yeah.
Two wounds on a T3 guy, it's no problem.
So he makes the charge with the Catacomb Command Barge and the Scarabs.
Yeah.
That is bad news for you because of the Mind Shackle Scarabs, right?
Actually, the Mind Shackle Scarabs weren't the worst. It actually just turns out that the Scarabs just put out enough wounds.
Well, the fact that you didn't get to attack, I'm sure probably didn't help.
It wasn't beneficial, but
So you've lost your Keeper of Secrets.
yep.
You have this Wraith Knight. The Wraith Knight is a threat because, as we know, he can instant kill all your things.
Yeah,
What is
mostly Fate Weaver is what I'm worried about here. I certainly don't want him just to get some lucky rolls on that Wraith Knight, kill off Fate Weaver.
So the game plan has to be kill the Wraith Knight at this point. Are you not worried about the Scarabs on the relic? Now you've lost the ability to control the relic.
Yeah. At this point, I have First Blood. I can certainly get Line Breaker easily with my army. I just, run the flying monsters out there, summon something in his backfield, or do something along those lines. It's not a big issue getting Line Breaker. And getting Warlord seems pretty reasonable for me at this point, too. So the Relic, my game plan is, if I can, try and get something onto it. Again, I can summon something to try and take that from him. But at this point, I'm really just worried about denying Warlord. The easiest way you can get that is the Wraith Knight. Just blank there for a second. So as you can see there, I Psychic Shriek it out, no problem. I believe I use a Fate Weaver reroll to get the leadership bonus off there, and it's nice easy kill.
So Psychic Shriek is real good at killing Wraith Knights. You heard it here first, guys.
Real good when you have a Fate Weaver reroll to reroll your 1 into a 6.
But nonetheless, so you're there. The problem you're going to run into, though, is his reserves are going to start coming out. So he's making his Scarabs. He's just farming it out, which is fine. You fully expect him to do that. That's what they're there for. He actually, I think, kills a Tomb Spider in the farm process.
Yeah. He does roll more than average number of 1s in this game, I would say. Kills off probably 2 of his own spiders off just rolling them.
Now, are you worried at all when his quote-unquote Necron Air Force shows up to play?
Not really. The biggest thing I was worried about in this was the Wraith Knight. I'm going to be landing soon anyway to try and take out these command barges. Again, this is kind of Bellacor's job at this point, and I think I keep him up in the air, frankly, a little longer than he should be. But yeah, at this point, it's just, I'm going to land, do my thing. This was a mistake, though. I didn't use the Fate Weaver reroll on the grounding check for this gray Demon Prince here in the middle. There was no reason for me to let him get grounded. I kind of wanted it to so I could assault the next turn. That was my mindset. Hindsight 2020, probably not my best idea.
You mean getting double charged by Catacomb Command Barges is probably not good?
Yeah, no.
So
not my best move.
So how do you? Okay, so you're taking Slaanesh Demon Princes.
Yep.
And your main game plan for dealing with the flyers is what? Since you don't have Flicker Fire.
Well, I still have Flicker Fire off Fate Weaver, but Lash. Lash is a monster.
So 2d6, strength 6, right? Because
Yep.
it's a base user. No Remnant.
No.
Aww.
There you go. You see that Demon Prince die. I did roll Bio twice on each one, trying to get that Iron Arm for the Strength 9. Nobody got it, but it was worth a shot.
So, basically right now, you seem like you're a little bit behind. You're winning on Maelstrom.
Yeah.
But you're losing on Primary.
Mm-hmm.
And, frankly, your number of big guys is kind of starting to dwindle here.
Yeah.
And not all of his flyers are in. So, we seem like we're in kind of a precarious spot. So, is your top priority now trying to take out flyers as they come in? Or is it, you're not really in a great spot to start assaulting these Catacomb command barges.
Right.
Because, as we all know, the weakness of flying monstrous creatures now is you have to land for a turn.
Yeah, it's a big hit, especially, like I said, on Be'lakor. At this point, I'm frankly getting pretty nervous. Like you said, I lost 2 of the big guys already. He is swarming down that relic. In my mind, I'm actively thinking, it's kind of almost changed from how do I win this to how do I stop him from just running away with this game. So you see I move over to this Maelstrom objective towards the side. My game plan here is just wipe those troops off there, make sure that I win on Maelstrom, seal that one up. And really just try and get away from the Catacomb command barges for a turn so I can, start setting stuff up and actually get that Warlord that I need to get to win this game.
And that's one of the hardest things about Flying Demons right now is it requires you to think 2 turns in advance because you have to think about your setup turn and what he's going to do in that case, and then the following turn when you actually get to do things. So you have to plan yourself. You have to plan a setup turn, hope that they don't see it or react appropriately and say, okay, well, I'm going to waste your setup turn by going this way now.
Right. And he has so many swarms at this point, and they're pretty fast. So I have to make sure that wherever I land, I don't just get assaulted by swarms and killed. Because, I'm sure he's willing to drop the relic to pick up a kill on a Demon Prince or
Be'lakor or Fate Weaver or something like that, yeah.
So that's another reason I'm going this far over to the side is I need to make sure those swarms don't take advantage of me landing to turn around and kill these barges.
So we saw that you killed the one flyer. His
Yep.
unit came in from reserve, and it came in right next to the portaglyph, which happened to have an unlucky scatter all the way over into the corner.
Yeah, that thing scattered probably 14 inches or so.
But
it did make a unit the turn it came in. That unit, I believe, was Demonettes. And so, more objective secured units, Demonettes. There's pink horrors over there too. So
it's a fast. The Demonettes are a really good spawn. Especially if you don't need the warp dice because they're just fast.
Yeah, they get to where they need to be.
Yeah, they move 6. They have fleet. They run D6 plus 3. So they're gonna really cover some distance. But right now you're in this weird position of. So we're winning on Maelstrom. We have your guys in the back. Now, one of the big things I actually disliked about watching the game was you never move your backfield horrors to contribute. And that's something I've noticed in all of your games. Why not?
Yeah. I like the horrors as a battery. It's a little shy of 200 points, 4 warp dice out of the 2 units. They have flicker fire, so should a troop decide to drop down, they certainly have the range and ability to kill them. But the things that I'm planning, and I do this in a lot of my games. They just sit back in the corner, avoid templates, things like that.
Whereas you can easily string one guy out and use him to flicker fire.
Yeah.
And, at this point now they're a battery, but they're also giving you a little bit something extra. And, maybe it's those extra shots. Because a lot of these times I'm saying this, it's little things that are coming down to the wire. And, it makes me wonder, well, if you got 2 turns of flickering fire out of those on those scarabs, would that make a difference? I think it would, because you're shooting in.
The scarabs, I'm real nervous about flicker firing. They might be T3, but if he gets a feel no pain on those guys, especially if he gets it twice, those scarabs aren't moving anywhere.
That's true, but simultaneously you can move them up, flicker fire once, hopefully bait out a charge, drops the relic, and now they're no longer sitting there with the relic, and now you could spawn your dogs, things like that, to kind of counter there.
That's definitely something to think about. You see here there were, I guess, 2 units of dogs. Dogs come out of summoning, by the way, something a lot of people miss. Think it's incursion. You can summon, and by dogs I mean Fleshhounds of Khorne, by the way. So you see I summoned 2 units, both off the pink horrors. The first one charged in. My thought process here is just trying to slowly drag them forward, try and pull off the relic, see if I can swoop that other dog squad around, get a lucky contest in.
So, alright. What happens down here with the Necron Warrior? I see they kill the portaglyph. But you have Flicker Fire, which is Strength 5, AP 4, so it should just mow through them.
Yep.
What happens?
I rolled, I believe it was 5 dice on Flicker Fire, failed it on 1 warp charge. Just failed. He didn't deny it. So then I tried to clean it up, run in with the Demonettes, and the Demonettes lost combat to Necron Warriors. It's not my shining moment.
So we see that...
Which I believe got him 2 Maelstroms, because I think he got kill a unit twice in that one, and so the Demon Heads gave him...
So now he's actually coming back into Maelstrom.
Yeah.
We have a problem with that. We have Be'lakor sitting in the... We have Be'lakor just chilling out in the ruins up at the top there.
Yep.
The 3 jet bikes are just sitting there going, well, we're objective secured, you're not. This is our objective.
Yep, that was another Maelstrom that he took from me. Is I had that one, and his jet bikes came in and just sat there.
And this is one of the things we've noticed with BAO. There is a huge advantage to bottom of the turn.
Yeah.
So, for Maelstrom in particular. So what we've noticed in our playtesting for anybody that's willing that wants to go to Bay Area Open or LVO, it seems like there's an advantage in going first for the primary,
Absolutely.
going second for the secondaries, the Maelstrom, and even if you look at BAO's packet or statistics rather, most of the time the player that went first won the game, but it's probably because they're winning on primary
because they're losing or winning on secondary.
Because they're losing on Maelstrom typically, and they basically 9 out of 10 times, like we've been playing the game and we go, okay, well I'm behind on Maelstrom. Player 2 has the advantage. Can I get back into Maelstrom? No. Okay, fine. Just kind of give up on it and go our merry way and just say, okay, well I'm going to play for the primary. And player 2 usually has been playing for the secondary. So it's just one of those things we've noticed with the packet. It's one of those know your packet things. So
one thing I've noticed a lot for the packet, if your army can pick up First Blood, you should probably just be focusing on the primary then. Because at that point, there's no way for your opponent to catch up to you. At best, they tie you. And that's if you don't get Line Breaker too. It's a really straightforward play if you get First Blood.
Yeah. So you got First Blood.
Yes.
And you gave up primary.
Yeah.
You just conceded it.
Yeah. Knew going into this, his army was going to be better at the relic than mine, and frankly, I didn't play for it hard enough. It was one of the things I learned, especially from this game, is, get First Blood, get the primary, you win the game.
So how could you have played it differently so that you would have maybe dealt with that Scarab Swarm that is now at epic proportions?
Yeah, that Scarab Swarm is not going anywhere. That's a solid.
But you were able
20 models now.
You were able to deal with it earlier in the game.
Certainly could have landed. Be'lakor stayed in the air way too long. He didn't come down until probably turn 4, which means he didn't charge until turn 5. Frankly, Be'lakor runs through that unit. Tzeentch Princes can run through that unit fairly well. Tzeentch Princes in particular, Slaanesh Princes should have just been going off the spiders and stopping this factory the whole time. It was just some misplays on my part. Tried to clean it up, but I think it was too little.
Here's one of the biggest misplays I've noted. Like I noticed with the game.
Sure.
So John chose not to charge here. He didn't want to go last. He didn't want to risk dying there.
Yeah,
but
he didn't want to risk me passing Mind Shackle Scarabs with Be'lakor.
But he kept his command barge instead of turbo boosting or anything like that. He kept it in a position that you could just hop skip out of the terrain and charge it.
Yep.
And not get slowed.
John definitely thought I was going to charge directly into his command barge, letting him go first, but he left the butt of it sitting out of the ruins, so all I did was hop to the other side, charge it, and it was a nice, easy kill.
So Be'lakor passes Mind Shackle, and 8 said command barge, which he should.
Yeah.
John is just dumping out warriors, but this is the big thing. John's dumping out these warriors and stopping you from getting this Maelstrom point. He just, okay, sure, here's a 5-man troop squad. I don't care.
Yeah, frankly, I'm pretty concerned at this point, but John is almost as concerned as I am. I'm ahead on Maelstrom still going to win on secondaries because I got that Warlord, I got First Blood, he's not killing Fate Weaver. So now we're kind of looking at this tie situation when he thought he had the game pretty well wrapped up. So we're seeing there's a lot of thinking going into these last few turns as we're both kind of scrambling at this point. So John picks up Line Breaker here. We ended on turn 5 off the dice roll. He wins. We keep playing it out afterwards off camera. On turn 6, I actually managed to pull out the win, and on turn 7, we ended up with a draw.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's one of those tough games, and that's a good tournament game for you guys. Anyway, go ahead and click subscribe. Thanks for watching.